Hey, y'all. Good evening. How is everybody doing tonight? I am Elizabeth with Elizabeth Road Studio, and hopefully, you're seeing this on my page or one of my groups, or maybe even on my YouTube channel. So, we have a lot of places that you could watch this tonight, but I'm coming on here to answer questions about my Glass and Resin 101 course. So, as you hop on here, tell me where you're from. Tell me who you are or where you're from. I know where Sandy's from. She's from California. Hi, Sandy. How are you tonight? It has been a long day up here in my studio. I have been working on packing Christmas kits today. So I've been up here basically all day except for a cooked dinner. So that was my outing today. But other than that, I've been up here working on my Christmas kits. If you've been around very long, you know I usually do ornament kits. So I'm so excited to post some pictures of those hopefully in the next couple of days. But I'm glad you're here tonight, Sandy. Well, hello, Jane. How are you tonight? Good to see your face too. That pretty aqua, I always recognize it. Hi, Cindy. Oh, Cindy joined. She joined our Glass and Resin 101 today. Hi, Mandy and Leona. I'm so glad y'all are here. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started talking about Glass and Resin 101. I started teaching glass and resin classes about 8 years ago. I learned how to make glass and resin, and I never looked back. Glass and resin is just, Nathan Rhodes. It's my brother in law. I think you're wonderful too, Nathan. Glass and resin is one of those mediums that once I started making art with it, I knew I had found my passion. I've always done like murals and paintings and even sculpture and all kinds of crafting and art and just different mediums. But glass and resin stole my heart. It is such a versatile medium. You can make so many different things. In fact, I've got a piece back here that we did in my membership group. The lighting is really terrible on it right now, but it's a field of mushrooms and it's just magical. It's just, I don't know. It's magical. Oh, Sandy, good. You're coming back for a refresher. So, I'm going to tell you about Glass and Resin 101 and why I teach this course. I have a membership group where we do a class every week, teaching a different project every week. I usually provide templates and supply lists if you need them. And it kind of takes a little bit of knowledge to do these projects. And so this course was built out of the need for the people in my membership group to have the base knowledge so that they can do the projects every week. I do have a little bit of a crash course in that membership group. For the most part, they're learning how to do these projects just kind of every week, just out of nowhere, right? So I give them a little bit of base knowledge, but this is a course that takes you start to finish about everything that you need to know from building your own boards to framing to sourcing glass. We'll shop for glass on a Facebook Live. I take you with me to the thrift stores, my favorite charity stores around town, to coloring glass, figuring out how to sort it, how you need to arrange it in your workspace, even if it's a closet or the corner of the kitchen or whatever. I have a studio. A lot of us end up getting studios, but you don't have to. You can do it just, in your laundry room. I know one of my friends on here, she uses her laundry room. So you can make a space just about anywhere. And so I take you through all of that, learning how to find the glass, what glass is going to work best, what isn't, how to get a lot of glass for free. And then we learn about breaking glass. So nipping, using these, how to use these so that you don't tear up your shoulder or your elbow. Nippers, cutting, scoring, and breaking glass with these tools. We learn coloring glass, like if all you can find is clear glass, how to color it, or if you want a specific color, what you can do to get that color. So we'll make projects, but I'm teaching techniques. So whereas in my membership group, I teach a project every week. For the Glass and Resin 101 course, I teach techniques. You can make projects with it. I've had several people reach out to me and say, what projects are we going to be making? So I'll show you the things that I'm going to teach you, but you're going to get the tools and the techniques to make whatever you want, right? I know that Brandy and Jane and all these ladies on here that are commenting, they're all in my group. And yes, you'll never look at glass as just glass again. It's what can I do with this or this or this? You're exactly right. And it may be that you've inherited a lot of glass, or grandma left you all of her something, or you've got a bunch of broken pieces or whatever. We can make beautiful art with those things. Thank you so much, Brandy. Thank you. Cindy, you're going to love it. Let me just tell you, it is so addictive. And knowing the basics is good, but diving deep and kind of figuring out all of the foundational information is what really sets this apart from just a basic, class, 30-minute class or whatever that you can learn in. So we're going to do, my husband, Sean, is going to show us how to build a board from scratch using pallet wood or wood from Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. He's going to show us how to build a simple frame. I think I already said that. He is, let's see. So he does the board building and the framing lessons, but I do the rest of them. So that's sourcing glass, coloring glass, cutting glass. Then the next part is resin. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. So she's talking about the mushrooms behind me. I know. I'll show you that in just a second. I'll pull it up here in the light. The next part would be resin. So I use a product called Art Resin. Okay. Art Resin is a 2-part resin epoxy, and you mix this 1-to-1, and then it becomes magic. It really does. It's shiny and sparkly. I know I use that word a lot, but I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. So you can do all kinds of stuff with resin. So we'll do some resin techniques like this lacing and these waves to kind of mimic a river. I'll show you how to do that. We'll do jewelry, resin jewelry in molds, or molds for coasters or little trays. There are all kinds of resin molds out there. I know that if you've been to any craft store or art store lately, you've seen all the resin molds out there. We'll learn how to do flowers. So I want you to look at this. These flowers are composed of so many different elements. This is the bottle of a big wine jug, like communion wine. This is a vase from the Dollar Tree. These, let me see. These are marbles that I've colored. This, I know you'll recognize this. That is from a bud vase. Those are really easy to find because they're not always authentic milk glass, but you can find the fake milk glass if you don't have an authentic one. This is the bottom of like a drinking glass. I know exactly what piece it came from. So I use lots of different pieces to create floral arrangements. So I'm going to show you a floral arrangement. You can make your own with the glass that you found, okay? I'm also going to show you how to make, sorry, I keep turning my head, how to make a simple landscape. This is one of my favorite things to do because it is so simple and it has such a calming and serene feel. This is a really simple landscape, and this is just all crushed glass. So you don't even have to know how to cut glass with nippers to make one of these landscapes. That is also a really big seller at the art fairs because people go, "Oh, that's my favorite spot at the lake," right? It looks like it could be your favorite spot at the lake. And then I'm also going to show you how to make one of my big crosses. I teach this class a lot, and it's different every time. So these glass crosses, I use sheet glass and these tools. All of these tools together are less than $30. And I have links to my Amazon shop where you can pick those up. So it's really, it doesn't require a ton of tools. You need I'll give you the Amazon shop and we talk about all of that whenever you join. But the link to the Amazon shop has your basic tools that you're going to need. It has the resin, things like gloves, because you want to wear gloves when you're working with resin and stuff like that. But I promise I break it down and make it so simple. I'm watching all these. You guys are so sweet. Yes, Cindy, I loved meeting you on the cruise a couple of weeks ago. Wasn't that the best time? We just got off of our crafting cruise a couple of weeks ago, and you guys, we had the time of our lives. I laughed so hard that week. We had so much fun. We had so much fun. Oh, Lisa, you should join my monthly group. So, my monthly group actually is closed right now, and it will open back up at the end of the course. So, the course lasts through it's 10 lessons over the course of 2 weeks. It starts October 23rd and it ends, I'm pulling up it ends on November 12th. I've got my cheat sheet right here. These are the classes. So, that's posted on my Facebook page. Let's see. That is posted on my Facebook page. And so I start out teaching the substrates, the boards, and then we go to the glass, and then we go to the resin, and then we put it all together to make our projects. So it follows and the times are already posted. So if you, oh, good, Sherry, I'm so glad. Okay, Jean Sanders wants to know, how did I cut the jug in half? You mean to use for this? You mean this vase? Or are you talking about this? This, I used the nippers to cut that in half, to cut that piece off. This, I used a tile saw. So I also show how to do that, because you can cut rings using a tile saw. So I show how you can cut rings with your glass bottle. So I get so excited about it. I tell everything all at once, and then I go, okay, wait a minute. Did I tell you everything? Yes, Lorraine. Okay, Lorraine asked if the classes are recorded for us to watch at any time. Yes, they are recorded, and you can watch the replays back, watch and rewatch them at your convenience. If you don't catch it live, or even if you do, you can watch and rewatch the videos for as long as you want. You have access to a learning website and to a private Facebook group that has all of the lessons in it. So yeah, you can go back and watch and rewatch them all the time. If you catch it live, that's great. Most people don't. I'll be honest with you. When I taught this last time, I think 10% of the people, maybe less than that, watched it live. And everybody else, oh goodness, I'm sorry. Everybody else watched the replays. And it works out great, because you can still ask questions and I still go back and answer them. I'm always looking at that. And yeah, you can't see any of the comments. Sandy, I think because I'm going live in 3 places, you'll only see the comments from the place that you're watching it from. Okay. Well, Jean said, I just now found you. Well, I'm so glad you did. Welcome. This is a sparkly place that we're here. So I'm glad you're here. So Glass and Resin 101 is still $40 off until the end of tonight. At midnight tonight, probably at 6 a.m. Actually, not midnight. That won't be up that late. At midnight tonight, we will switch it over to the rate of $167. Right now, it is $127. Sorry, my brain is not working. $127, and then tomorrow it becomes $167. Yeah. Let me show you this. This is a project we just finished a few weeks ago in my membership group. And y'all, this is like my favorite thing, I think. The ring light makes it kind of hard to see, but I'm in love with it. So I used cups and bowls, and I did not use a tile saw on any of these. I just broke them. This one's my favorite one, that ruffled one down there on that side. That's my favorite one. Thank you. Thank you. So this project would be very easy for you to figure out in Glass and Resin 101. But if you make it through Glass and Resin 101, at the end of that, you can join my membership group. And in the membership group, I have this lesson, which is not hard to figure out. I'm telling you, so often I think in our membership group, people just use the techniques that they learned when they took the course. Am I right? Anybody that's on here? Thank you, Jana. Thank you. Thank you, Tracy. We have so many people on here that have taken the course. I'm so happy to hear that. You guys are awesome. You all are awesome. Thank you so much. There's nothing like good reviews from people that have actually done it before. You know what I mean? Like it just gives it a lot of validity, I think. But I'm so glad y'all are here. I know. Tell them how great it is. It really is so much fun, and you make beautiful art. And it's a great addition if you're already a painter, if you're already an acrylic artist. You don't have to be, obviously, but if you already are, it's a great addition to your repertoire to kind of be able to add glass and resin to the paintings that you have. The paintings that you've done in the past, to like beef them up a little, adding glass and resin to them makes a really, really big difference. Cindy says the freehand painting scares you. Don't let it scare you. I promise I break it down so simply. The painting part, most of the time, a lot of the times, I will provide a template. Something like this, it's going to depend on this. Something like this, as far as a template goes, would depend on um, what size bowls or vases or cups. These are depression, like imitation depression, coffee cups or teacups or whatever. So much of it depends on what you have or what you can find in your collection. So that's why it's kind of hard to provide templates every time. But when I can provide a template, I do. So, but I do walk you through the painting part. And like I said, not every project has painting on it. I'm going to put this back over here instead of holding it. Not every project has a ton of painting on it. Let's see if I can get that to stay up there. For example, this one doesn't have any painting. Okay. So this one doesn't have any painting on it. So, neither does the cross that I showed you. This one right here, this snowy lake scene, because it's got snow on it, it just has very minimal painting. So don't let that scare you. Let's see. Would love to try this for my artwork, but I've got a golden retriever. Well, I have two big dogs. I have a Saint Bernard and Poodle mix. So he's a Saint Berdoodle. He's huge and sheds a lot. And I have a Bernese Mountain Dog and Poodle mix. So Bernadoodle is what that's called. I don't know. All these names are made up. But what I do is I just kind of keep it in a separate area. But you can always use a box, like a cardboard box or a plastic tote, turned upside down over your artwork. A lot of people do that. Mine is in a separate room on its own. So I don't typically have to worry about that because the dogs don't come in this room. But when I pour my resin, I could cover it if I needed to. So that's a good point. You would have no problem doing the painting, Jean? Well, there you go. The painting part for a lot of people is really intimidating. And then there are other people that are really intimidated by the resin. But I promise you, I take it so simply and slowly that you will feel very comfortable with all of it. I don't know of anybody that after they poured resin the first time were scared to do it the second time. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Thank you, Jennifer. You guys are so sweet. The compliments are just, oh my gosh, y'all are so sweet. Yes, Marcy, you have 3 dogs. That's right. Just make sure once the resin's poured, you cover the projects. That's right. That's right. Oh, Leonore, thank you. The Camp Wanacraft, that was so fun, wasn't it? We if you don't know what she's talking about, we do collaborative projects with my business friends, other artists and makers. And one of them that we did was Camp Wanacraft, or we did some Christmas ones. We did a spring collaborative project. So it's a good way to get your feet wet with glass and resin because it's really simple. The projects aren't simple. I don't mean that, but it's a smaller project. So this course will take you through all of that and more. So pouring resin is your favorite part, Marcy? Mine too. I love it. I love it. I just love to see the change that takes place when you're pouring it. So yeah, our Christmas one is coming too. It's so exciting. We do have a Christmas one coming up, a Christmas collaborative project. So let's see. I had something else I was going to tell you about Glass and Resin 101. Oh, somebody asked me how much my membership group is. So the membership is $29 a month. The Glass and Resin 101 is 127, which breaks down to less than $13 a class. So if you look at the classes, there are 10 classes and less than $13 a class. That's a good deal, right? Yeah, exactly, Jane. Resin is truly not a big deal. Once you've done it once, you're like, "Oh, I can do this. I can do it." We make it simple, don't we? Okay, do I get my glass from Goodwill? Okay, I get my glass from all different places. And that's one thing that I help you kind of discern whenever you get started is your location and what kind of charity sales and things like that are in your area. Honestly, I rarely go to Goodwill to get glass. Um, Honestly, I prefer to get my glass from a local, it's like a orphanage, like a family home center that has a sale every Tuesday. There are lots of places around the US and I'm sure in other countries that have those charity type sales. And so I kind of like to support organizations like that. As often as I can. So I get a lot of glass from there, but most of my glass is free. Most of my glass comes from places that are free. So it just depends. It just, yeah, glass comes from everywhere, even the side of the road, Sandy. That's right. No glass is safe. I love it. I love it. Yeah, you can get bottles from restaurants. You can get bottles from, how do you share? You can just share this link just share it into your Facebook page if you don't mind. That would be awesome. Because even if you're not interested in this group or in this course, somebody in your friends list might be, somebody in your family might be. So yeah, if you don't mind to share it, that would be awesome. Jean asks, do I use a mask when using resin? I do not. I have asthma, so I'm sensitive to smells and odors, that kind of stuff. And art resin does not cause any kind of, it doesn't trigger anything for me. It has no VOCs and it's a really, really safe product. When it's dry, it is you can eat off of it when it's cured. I mean, it's a really safe product. You can look it up at artresin.com and kind of read their information about it, but I've never had a problem with it. So no, I don't use a mask. Yeah, garage sales for glass. Yep, yep. And soon you'll be wondering where you can put your glass. You're exactly right. That is my number one tip. People will leave it on your doorstep. Yeah. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. And glass hoarding is definitely a thing, Cindy. You're not alone. I've got a little too much of it at the moment. I had somebody call me the other day and say, you know, oh, I bet somebody is trying to share from a closed Facebook page. I can't see who is saying what on that, Jane. I'm sorry. Thank you for looking into that and seeing what they're talking about. Yeah, and I have people call me oftentimes and have to say, no, I don't need it. So that is definitely something that becomes a problem. It's getting too much glass eventually. In the beginning, it's not a problem, but I know it's so much. Cindy, are there any issues with resin yellowing over time? That's a really good question. We've been discussing this, and actually, Jane Hagan, who is commenting, she's been doing a few studies on it, and I've been doing a few studies just on my own. We contacted Art Resin. They actually have the highest UV rating on the market. And I don't work for Art Resin. I don't get any kind of commission or anything for telling you this. But Art Resin is the best resin against yellowing. But there are some cases when it can yellow. So in those cases where it can yellow, there are some things that we can do before we pour our resin to keep that from happening. Now, you never want to put something that's been resined out in the full sun. That is one sure way to speed up the yellowing process if it's going to happen. So, you wouldn't do this on a table that's going outside, but other than that, you should be good to go. Oh, yes, it would be hard to turn down free glass. I agree, Jean. I agree. Rhonda says, I always take red and orange glass and hoard it. Yep, it is hard to find red, orange, and black. Sometimes we really struggle to find. Oh, Mason Matthews. Hello. No, you're my hero. Mason is a fellow maker. He does a lot of craft. We met at one of our vendor events, one of the first ones I did. So yes, I know. Can't buy any more. No more glass. Oh, Christy, thank you so much for sprinkling. Thank you. So if you've already joined, can you just like post a heart or something? I know the people that are in my membership group have joined, and thank you for that. And I know that, well, there's a lot of people on here that joined either today or yesterday. So I appreciate you all so much. We're going to have so much fun. Again, we start on October 23rd. I'm reading that, Cindy. Wilson, your car trunk is full of glass. Mine too. Mine is right now. It is. The back of my car is full. And mom got two like little Christmas trees. And I told the guy, I said, can you just like put them on top of them? Because it's full, but it's for a good cause. It's for our kids. It's for a good cause. Dwayne heard my voice. That's funny. Y'all are awesome. Okay, so hi Gloria, how are you today? So I'm just talking about Glass and Resin 101. Glass and Resin 101 starts Sunday night with a little kickoff in our private Facebook group. We're going to talk about all the supplies, go top to bottom. Once you join the private Facebook group, if you've already joined the course, make sure that you're in the private Facebook group. It's if you need a link to it, let me know. But it's Glass and Resin 101 Fall 2022 is what it says. It's a new group. So make sure you get in that group. And in that group is a link to my Amazon shop, and that has all the supplies. You can get those supplies locally most of the time, or you could have them at your house in a couple of days. And the ones that you're going to need eventually are these three things. And you can get these for less than $30. So your resin is not that cheap, but it's not that expensive. It's not as expensive as you think it is. But the resin that we use, I can't even quote prices. I'm sorry. And it depends on how much you buy. So if you're thinking about joining, your cost of supplies, I'm just going to kind of give that, put that out there. For less than $100, you're all set up, probably even less than that. So, yeah. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Y'all are the best. I know we do need an intervention. All of us do for our glass addiction. It really is. You start looking at things. It really is hard to understand how you start looking at things and you go, okay, wait, like, this is kind of what a broken shower door looks like. It's not quite this shimmery, but like, you get tempered glass from that. I had a lady call me, somebody busted out her back window of her SUV and the police were coming. And I was like, can I have that glass? She said, well, that's why I called you. And she scooped it all up for me. And it was all like dark tinted and it's beautiful glass. In fact, that's what I used here. That's what I used here along this shoreline. It was beautiful. And I had buckets of it. So I shared some of it. So there are so many unexpected ways to find glass that I'm going to share with you as well. So anyway, I'm ready to get started. Are y'all ready? Oh, that's so funny. Your son's building a home and you go down every couple of days and pick up the small wood scraps. You know what? I use those for all kinds of stuff. This is a wood scrap. I mean, you put a frame on that thing or don't, and it's so cute. It's a perfect little shelf sitter. So, yeah. Can you give us a direct link to join? Yes. Let's see if that works. Let's see if that works. I hope. You're trying to join from the email and it's not working. I'll have to look into that, Leonore. I don't know what happened there. Rhonda, you're nervous about getting cut. You're a wimp. Well, let me just tell you, I think we would be lying if any of us said we weren't nervous in the beginning about getting cut, because everybody has that moment of, mom told us not to ever touch broken glass. But it's harder to get cut than you think it is. Am I right? I want to see if everybody agrees with me when I say that. It is harder to get, let's see. I'm trying to read what everybody's saying. It is harder to get cut than you think it is. So when you just pick up glass, I mean, you can use just tempered glass. You're not going to get cut with tempered glass. Um, I don't have any over here to show you, but when you just, it only hurts for a second and then you move on. That's right. You're right, Sandy. When you're just nipping glass, unless you take that glass and you like try to cut yourself, you typically don't get cut. The only time I ever get cut is when I go to grab something and I don't look at it first, or I press my hand down on the table. There you go, or brushing the table off with my hand. That's why we use the little brushes that we have. And I'm sure Jane has one. She just didn't grab it, right? Oh, Cindy, you broke something on the cruise and you were picking it up and people wouldn't let you get it. Oh, I have a great story. We were going to my in-laws for Thanksgiving. Was it last year? And my brother-in-law dropped a wine bottle and it shattered and it went everywhere. And I go to start picking it up. And Sean's mom says, no, no, don't touch it. Don't touch it. You'll cut yourself. And I said, do you know what I do? I'm not going to cut myself. Like, she's the one on blood thinners. I was worried about her, you know. I was fine. Just cleaning it up. If you're careful, you're not going to get cut. I'm just, you know, yeah, I rarely get cut too. I rarely get cut. Yeah, if you do mosaics, Jean, then you probably know exactly. It just doesn't happen very often. Yes, places get upset when you tell them not to wrap glass. If you go to a charity sale and you buy a bunch of glass and they say, oh, and they want to wrap it in all this newspaper and tape each little individual piece, I say, oh, no, it's okay. You don't have to do that. I'm going to break it anyway. But sometimes I don't like to break their hearts like that because they want you to, you know, but they like it that you're using it for something too. That makes them feel really good. So it's kind of a hit or miss. Oh, Rhonda, that's a great tip. Use a lint roller to clean up broken glass. Yeah, that's a great tip. You've had people not want to sell you something because they know you're going to break it. Cindy, uh-oh, you're going to have to not tell them. Because what are they going to do with it? That's so funny. Yeah, Jane and I frequent the same places around Bowling Green. We live in Bowling Green, or I live in Bowling Green. She doesn't live very far away in Kentucky. And we frequent a lot of the same places. And so they know. They know. They're like, oh, you're breaking this, right? I'm not wrapping it. Yeah. I'm going to go back through and make sure I don't miss anything. Okay, Wilson, true story, Elizabeth. When you first did a class as a guest for Jen, I thought your pineapple was beautiful and you were so sweet, but I just didn't think glass was for me. You changed your mind? Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. I love Jen to pieces. She's one of our friends too, one of our business friends. Glass is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Your daughter tells them. That's funny. Oh, you hit send by accident. Okay, wait. Didn't think glass was for you. I may not be able to see the other part of it, Wilson. Read the second part. Oh my goodness. It's disappeared. Lord God forbid if I need to get to the spare time. Oh, wait, I can't find it. I'm sorry, you'll have to tell me again. I know you're addicted now. I can't find the second part of it. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I know. We had so much fun on that cruise. My goodness gracious. And Christy, is she still on here? Oh, we are. Oh, however, the glass bug bit me and I started seeing everything in glass and I was hooked. So my hoarding is all your fault. You got that right. I'll take credit for it. I don't mind. I'll take credit for your hoarding. You can blame it on me. Whatever you need to do. I love it. Thank you, Jane. I love it. I've got broad shoulders. I can handle it. All right. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And thank you for sprinkling this around however you can. If you can, appreciate it. If you can't from this live, you can go to my Facebook page and do it if you want. And we're just going to have so much fun. I absolutely love teaching this course. It is a passion of mine. And even if only we've had way more than two people sign up, but even if only two people signed up, I would still do it because I love it. I love it so much. Oh, Rhonda, no, I do use China with patterns. I do. I don't have one over here. Well, this, hold on. This has some China that has some blue willow. Blue willow is one of my favorites. So anytime I can find, blue willow knockoff or a little broken piece of China, I will use that. And then I've also used some China that belonged to my husband's family. I used that in a piece. Yeah, the flower vase is China. Yep, you're right. Right there. And I've used China in a lot of things. Yep. Your husband thinks nothing is art without resin. Well, I have to agree. It really changes the way you look at a painting when you see the same painting with resin on it. I think it makes a difference in the way that the colors are deeper and the texture and just the whole thing. I just love it. Now I have plenty of art around my house that doesn't have resin on it, but I think your husband's onto something there. Jean, you have a whole box of black dishes, but they are a French set of dishes. My daughter would kill me if I used it. Oh, yeah, you better not. You can find some. And then Sandy says, I have so much of my grandmother's china, but she'd haunt me from the grave if I broke it. I get that. I totally get that. So that's when you go to the thrift store and you see somebody else's china and you think, okay, I'm going to use that bowl or that plate or that cup or whatever it is. Or maybe in grandma's collection, there's a piece that's broken, which happens a lot because as we age, I have started dropping all kinds of things. I guess it's the arthritis and, all that stuff. And as you age, you drop stuff. And, my grandmother, I did inherit some china and 2 or 3 pieces were broken. So, I saved that stuff. So, yep, we have to, yes, Jane, it is ta-da to put, yes, high def. Yes, yes, to put resin on your artwork. Yes. Estate sales are great places to find cool glass pieces. You're absolutely right, Sandy. And, a lot of people in the younger generations, I wouldn't say, there's an age. A lot of people of a certain age are not interested in their grandma's china or the glassware that great aunt so and so had, and they don't want it. So by us using that in a different in a piece of art, we're giving new life to that piece. Yeah. That's why antique glass is so cheap. Yep. Because people don't want it. So we want it though, right? We can use it. Okay, well, I've had y'all on here long enough. I'm going to go check the Facebook group and make sure that everybody that wants in has gotten in. And if y'all have any questions, please just post them. I'm going to post the link one more time. If you have any questions, please just post them in here or on my Facebook page or send me a message or whatever you want to do. And I will answer them. We have so much fun in this course. I'm not kidding when I tell you that glass and resin changed my life. And many of the people that you're seeing commenting here, I think they'd be safe to say it changed theirs too. So, okay. You don't remember if you're in the new group. Well, I can make sure that you are, Wilson. I'll check. I'll hunt you down and make sure. Okay. Thank you, Cindy. I'm so excited too. I'm glad you've joined us. All right. Well, we'll see all you new people on Sunday night and hopefully a few more. All right. Thank you all so much. Bye.